Welcome to Chronically Classic, the series where I go over the 12 classics that I added to my personal curriculum this year as part of my intention to become a kitchen table learner. This episode will be covering The Lord of the Flies. Now, William Golding wrote this book to show how fragile civilization is, and honestly, it holds up. Anyone who has supervised a playdate knows that the line between structured fun and absolute chaos is much thinner than we'd like to admit. Because most of us are familiar with this book as required reading in high school, I think it's safe to say that this book has already passed the 50-year test, especially since it was published in 1954, and here I am still finding value in it today. I mean, we get it, it's a classic already. So instead of scoring it with my rubric, I'll just go ahead and break down how I felt about each category. Let's cover prose. I felt like this writing was top-notch. It was definitely written in the 50s, and it took me some time to adjust to some of the vernacular vocabulary, but once I adjusted, I really enjoyed it. As far as depth goes, I think that is where this book thrives. Definitely why we continue to study it today. There is so much you can unpack, and I could just feel all the literary devices being used, even though a lot of them probably went over my head. I definitely want to go through it again and find a good commentary to buddy read so that I can pull out some of the symbolism, but I could definitely tell that a lot of the characters and objects used in the story were symbolic, such as the signal fire and some of the masks the boys make. Now, the themes that this book explores are part of what makes it so timeless and so universal. I think it definitely speaks to the base primal part of our humanity and our capacity for evil. You can see clearly highlighted the tendency for things to dissolve into total collapse without order. And if you've been around toddlers, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, as far as immersion, this story takes place on a small, isolated island. And the further you get through the story, the more it almost seems like you can tangibly feel how small that island is getting. And lastly, rereadability. Although this is a short novel, there is a lot you could unpack, and I know I'll definitely be reading it more than once and probably even make it required reading for my kids when they're older. So needless to say, this was a fabulous book. I definitely recommend if you haven't already picked it up, and if you've already read it but it's been some time, I think you should revisit it. If you enjoyed looking through the scope of my reading rubric, please watch my full-length video on deep reading where you can easily download it to use for yourself, and go ahead and subscribe for more classics.